18.
This is TV18 and you're watching CNBC TV18.
Presented by Project Management Institute. Media partner CNBC TV18.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.
Hello and a very warm welcome to the 6th edition of Project Management National Conference 2014 coming out from Hyderabad. This year the conference had eminent speakers from various sectors who focused on how project management could be the mantra for sustainable growth.
Project Management National Conference provides an opportunity for project management practitioners across industries to exchange ideas on the challenges and emerging trends in projects that are contributing to national objectives. The theme for this year's conference was Project Management, the Mantra for Sustainable Growth.
India has a lot of opportunities right now. It's a global and very important, relevant player at the world. The fact that you are going through so many changes, for example, now we have a new government here. We have in Hyderabad in particular the division in 2 states. So that creates a lot of opportunities for projects at the government side and also in the public initiatives.
The conference kick-started with an inaugural address and a series of speeches which threw light on the significance of project management and the role of project managers.
The companies are actually focused on 4 things. You have them in there. Let me just go through them. The first one is they are not talking only about training. They need to have something else. It's not only about giving you a lot of training, because I can give you 10,000 different courses and you will learn nothing. You will practice nothing. The idea is to have programs that actually take care of your development. One. The second one is having career paths, ensuring that somehow I know how, as someone that was a trainee, can actually progress and can actually escalate levels to become a senior project manager or whatever it's in my organization. Career paths. The third one is to ensure that all the organization, not only the project managers, they talk about project management. Because if you continue talking about project management only in the lower level of the chain, of the food chain, you are going to be perceived as technical. We need to ensure that everyone understands in the organization why project management is important. That was the third. And the fourth one is to ensure that you measure the results, that you provide outcomes.
Project management, ladies and gentlemen, is that on which if we meditate upon, if we follow the processes precisely and execute them thoroughly and get committed to our goals and objectives and continue further, ladies and gentlemen, it is nothing but growth, growth, and further growth. Then that makes it sustainable growth. Otherwise, our vision would be a dream if it is not sustained by processes, as you would all know, and any processes without a vision is nothing but a futile attempt at trying to accomplish something that we may not accomplish.
The purpose of the national conference is to give everyone an opportunity to understand from the best practitioners around the place, right from NGOs to government to business to academia, what is happening, and also non-academic and social cause initiatives, so that everyone can learn from the best of project implementations that are happening and take away to better what they are doing. That's the scope and motto of these national conferences.
PMI is the financial support for this conference, but all the heavy lifting for the conference is done by the conference volunteers, PMI PCC volunteers. They are ably supported by other chapters. The chapters are represented here today. So a big thanks to all the other chapter and chapter volunteers who have come here to support this conference.
The theme of this conference is Mantra for Sustainable Growth, because it is important that we grow, but it's also important that the growth be sustained over a period of time. Project management is that bridge between the strategy and execution, and therefore having good project management practices for organizations, and when I say organizations, it's government, public sector and private sector organizations. If they have the processes in place, it becomes easier to convert the strategy into execution and therefore derive the desired results.
The inaugural ceremony recognized and felicitated Project Management Institute's chapter members and region mentors from across the country for their consistent promotion of project management as a profession. The inauguration concluded with the prestigious PMI Awards that honored organizations for excellence in the project management profession. The award for Project of the Year NGO went to the Evangelical Fellowship of India Commission on Relief. The award in the category Project of the Year Contribution to Community went to the National Thermal Power Corporation Limited. The award for Project of the Year Small was backed by National Thermal Power Corporation Limited. The runner-up for the Project of the Year Medium was Grasim Industries Aditya Birla Group. The winner for Project of the Year Medium was Indian Oil Corporation Limited. The runner-up in the category Project of the Year Large was Larsen & Toubro. And the winner in the category Project of the Year Large was once again Larsen & Toubro.
The role of a project manager is key for every company's sustainable business growth. So how does a project manager adapt and take on the challenges of the changing economy? More on that after this very short break.
As the two largest democracies in the world get ready to join hands, Prime Minister Modi travels to the heart of the world's financial markets to sell the India story and woo investors. Modi means business, and when it's business, it's CNBC TV 18, the undisputed leader in business news, 15 years and counting.
Catch me in conversation with investors to find out if India is the hottest investment destination.
Modi meets America. The world will be watching. Tune in at these times on CNBC TV 18.
Presented by US Polo, ASSN, the genuine spirit of polo, in association with Zebronics Speakers.
सही प्रॉपर्टी ढूंढते ढूंढते हवा निकल गई। इंट्रोड्यूसिंग गिद्ध की आँख, ताकि आप प्रॉपर्टीज देख पाए गिद्ध दृष्टि से और सही प्रॉपर्टी आपकी नजरों से बच न पाए।
प्रॉपर्टी चुनने के लिए गिद्ध की आँख? आपको चाहिए magicbricks.com। यहाँ मिले हर टाइप की प्रॉपर्टी के मैक्सिमम ऑप्शंस। magicbricks.com, प्रॉपर्टी सही मिलेगी यहीं।
अब ये कल से टॉप करेगा ना? ये तो आप मानोगे कि इतनी जल्दी रिजल्ट्स नहीं मिलते, लेकिन अगर मैं यही बात आपसे इक्विटी म्यूचुअल फंड्स के लिए कहूँ तो आप मानोगे। अच्छे रिटर्न्स पाने के लिए टाइम दीजिए। लॉग ऑन टू janotomano.com फ्रॉम बिरला सन लाइफ म्यूचुअल फंड। म्यूचुअल फंड इन्वेस्टमेंट्स आर सब्जेक्ट टू मार्केट रिस्क्स। रीड ऑल स्कीम रिलेटेड डॉक्यूमेंट्स केयरफुली।
खेले है ये छुपन छुपाई, बारी सतरंगी की आई, भागे टोली पीछे पीछे, सपने बैठे आंखें नीचे। रंगों का मेला है, रोशनी का खेला है, रंगों का मेला है, रोशनी का खेला है।
The brightest color celebration with new triluminous LED. Bravia, Sony.
The finalists make their pitch. Indian Ocean brings the house down with an electric performance. And we reveal the winners of Godrej Loud 2014. All this and more on part 2 of the Godrej Loud finale. At these times only on CNBC TV 18. Presented by Godrej, ideas that make life brighter.
Welcome back. You're watching Project Management National Conference India 2014. Let's now find out what factors are imperative in managing projects effectively.
Renowned experts from various industries spoke at the conference on the significance of project management for sustainable growth, how to manage infra projects, and inculcating entrepreneurial skills within the team.
The two major things that we thought about are marketing the conference and building the content for the conference. Let's see if we grow really, we are very aggressive in marketing it and we don't build the content. Do you think the people will have a good experience to have? What will be the impact for the long run of the conference? On the contrary, you build the content and you don't do proper marketing, you cannot sell the content, right? So, in the long run, you need to make sure that when you market, when you are doing a good marketing, you need to build it up with proper content also. That is what will help you in the long run of the conference. And that is what we mean by sustainable growth. Make sure that everything else is also built up when you are working hard on the marketing.
You must be very clear in your mind that there is a difference between being involved and interfering. And most of the time, such projects fail or such activities fail when people try to show that they are very involved but they actually interfere. And how do they interfere? Let me take an example. In our industry, we do have, overdues pile up, NPAs go up, recovery becomes a challenge, and then you create a team and we say, oh, we must crack this, there's a problem. And by force, you bring people who are experts in recovery. And you kind of come together, put some plan around it, you say, oh, this is how we want to go about doing it. Send them out to the market where the problem is. They go there. For a few days, they try to guide people how to do. Then their automatic question is, take me to the customer, I'll tell you how to do it. Right? And he believes that he's very much involved in it and he's guiding people, he's coaching them, he's mentoring them, whatever he must be thinking. But he forgets in the process that he's unnecessarily interfering into the affair of the last level. And he comes back after a week and then the customer tells my local guy, I've already convinced your senior that I cannot pay. Please don't come and trouble me again. You just see where has this involvement led this transaction to.
If the project don't get completed on time, typically escalations happen, resources get diverted further, and other projects start suffering. So its first essential is timelines. Second is put in best of your talent, because ultimately you need to achieve success. So put in best of your talent, bring the best team in place, and make sure that you achieve success through that. But finally, I would think that sustainable growth comes from your learnings through the project execution.
Planning Commission estimates that if India has to grow the way we are growing, of course, last couple of years it slowed down, now again it's picking up. We require $1 trillion investment in Indian rupees, it's about 60 lakh crore rupees. We can't get this kind of money, the kind of challenges we have, the kind of funding requirement we have, it's really humongous. We can't get this kind of money from government funding, so at least 50% of it should come from the public-private partnership route through the private sector. McKinsey similarly, they said about $1.2 trillion or 72 lakh crore rupees investment is required. To give you a small example, urbanization itself, today we're at 35% urbanization. At 35% urbanization, the kind of problems you're facing, most of the Indian cities you're aware. Imagine what will happen as it happened all over the world. It is 80% urbanization, 90% urbanization. So Indian cities are going to be, instead of 1 crore population, for example, Hyderabad city, 10 million population. Imagine Hyderabad city becomes a 30 million population. What will happen to Hyderabad city, you have to understand.
The attendees got a slight breather from the technicalities when ad guru and renowned theatre personality Alec Padamsee took over the pedestal.
And that's why it's good to have a company like PMI. You're all in different projects, I know. So what project are you in?
This interesting and interactive session focused on the significance of good leadership.
What is actually a leader supposed to do? When you join a business, the first thing, you sort of manage jobs, right? You become a manager and you manage jobs. Things to do every day, look after this, look after that, make a sale over here, do this, do that. Then, when you're promoted, you manage people, a people manager. You become the head of your department. You don't actually go out and sell things, you don't actually do the task, but you manage them, So, first it's doing the task, that is managing the task. Secondly, managing people. And then finally, when you become a leader, what have you got to manage? What has a leader got to manage? A leader has to manage concepts. In which direction is this company going? Are we in the making fax machines? Because fax machines are slowly going out. Or even more than that, are we making telex machines? And probably anyone who's young enough doesn't even know what a telex is. That's managing concepts, managing the future. Now, all these things are very, very important.
India is just incredible, the amount of ideas and new directions, and suddenly you get, all this Flipkart.com now being quoted at $1 billion and more than $1 billion. And PMI, I think, is the kind of, shall we say, instigator that will make people realize that if they organize themselves well, that the world is your carpet. The world is your red carpet. And you can fly to anywhere without leaving this country, right? Now that we've got Skype and everything else and every other kind of, communications tool. And you don't have to go anywhere. You can stay right here and make millions and billions.
We'll take a short break here, but when we come back, more from the experts on the other side.
सही लाइट में नहीं पड़ोगे तो मैं आके आपके नाक पे बैठूंगा फॉर लाइफ।
अगर लाइट सही ना हो तो आंखों पर जोर पड़ता है, इसलिए हैलोनिक्स, जैसी जरूरत वैसी लाइट। हैलोनिक्स, द राइट लाइट।
Zebronic speakers. To transform and add value to the health system, we need new ideas and innovations. ICICI Lombard and CNBC TV18 present the India Healthcare Summit 2014 as a prequel to the Healthcare Awards, an exclusive forum that will bring together key stakeholders who are championing the cause of inclusive healthcare. This September in Mumbai.
Presented by ICICI Lombard Health Insurance. Journal partner, The Indian Practitioner. Exclusive media partner, Medgate. Magazine partner, Drug Today Medical Times. And Healthcare Executive. On-ground partner, Inox.
दूर से तो सब अच्छा दिखता है, जैसे ये घर। दूर से प्यारा, करीब से दरारों का मारा। ड्यूलक्स वेदरशील्ड मैक्स अपनाइए, जिसकी क्रैक प्रूफ टेक्नोलॉजी मौसम की मार से आपके घर को बचाए, ताकि घर रहे दूर से सुंदर, करीब से सॉलिड।
बेगम, ताजमहल जरूर बनेगा।
मैं नहीं जानती।
जाओ, कहीं से भी ढूंढ के लाओ जमीन।
मिल गई जहाँ पना।
प्लॉट्स, ऑफिसेज, फ्लैट सब है 99acres.com पे। जहाँ पना बाबर रोड, हुमायूं रोड, अकबर रोड।
प्रॉपर्टी जो बिकती है पहले यहाँ दिखती है। बाय सेल रेंट एट 99acres.com।
आज अपना सेविंग्स अकाउंट खुलवा लेना।
आज बैंक जाने का टाइम नहीं है।
ठीक है तो बैंक घर आ जाए।
अच्छा।
नमस्ते, मैं नेहा यूनियन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया से आपका सेविंग्स अकाउंट खुलवाने आई हूँ। आपका एड्रेस प्रूफ, बस समझे आपका अकाउंट खुल गया।
अच्छा।
यूनियन बैंक की टैबुलस बैंकिंग सेवा अपनाने के लिए हमें इस नंबर पर मिस्ड कॉल करें। यूनियन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया, अच्छे लोग, अच्छा बैंक।
One margarita pizza
with extra cheese. Some extra strawberries, please.
Dad.
Okay. Get my car, please.
Yes, car with extra space, extra comfort and extra style.
Extra surprise?
The real family sedan for those who want extra space, extra comfort, extra style, and even
extra love.
Hyundai Accent multiplies your life. Hyundai.
Welcome back. You're watching Project Management National Conference India 2014. A spiritual approach and obtaining an industry perspective are important factors for managing a project successfully. Let's hear more on that from the experts.
Service to man as service to God was an interesting theme for one of the sessions, followed by a panel discussion with eminent speakers from the government who discussed the possibilities of streamlining project management in the government sector.
When you have to achieve your goal, when you have reached your target, and when you have to fulfill your objectives or you accomplish the goals, you need to have a kind of a link between the target and the accomplishment.
There is a kind of a perception, which I will call it, prevails across the board about the way that this kind of a large-scale investments and the projects are really being managed. So let me just start off with some kind of an opening remark from our esteemed panels to really understand that how much of this particular perspective, according to you, really feel that it is true.
After decades of implementing projects, managing projects, there is no arm in the government system today which is not convinced that there shouldn't be project management. There should be a proper emphasis on project management. But despite this intention, the gaps in implementation are still quite huge. In fact, we still come across instances of many, many projects, including quite a few which I am personally dealing with these days, which have got delayed, which have in fact there are a couple of projects, I'll give examples of them later on, which have not even taken off after 5 years of getting awarded, etc. And it's not very difficult to see where the faults lie. Sometimes when you design the agreements which the government needs to enter with the private partner, the concession agreement, the service delivery agreements, the management agreements, sometimes they are worded without much of flexibility. So suppose you encounter a new kind of a situation, you just don't know how to make changes, make modifications, make additions. Sometimes you fear that it will lead to some kind of a legal problem. Sometimes there are problems with the private sector partner also. They bid very aggressively without realizing the implications of some of these clauses, and after getting the project, they try to influence some of these components, they want changes to be made, etc. So sometimes these kind of inflexibilities, these kind of difficulties in closing these open-ended issues also lead to lots of delays.
Where we need to work in the government is to actually do the entire decision-making process re-engineered. See, what typically happens in government is that there are committees after committees after committees which take decisions. And as a result, nobody is single-handedly accountable for any decision. And then the decision-making gets diluted. So, if given a choice, first thing that we need to do is, instead of multiple layers of committees, have the processes streamlined and pinpoint an individual that, yes sir, this is your responsibility, you are accountable to get this project implemented, period. But then, give him the freedom to take decisions.
There has to be a lot of standardization in terms of bid process management in government, which is happening, but can be further strengthened. And thirdly, good human resources and capacity building in terms of government officers and employees to appreciate the basic concepts of project management is something which is missing, which can now be done in a larger way.
There are projects that are planned and executed, and there are projects that are executed, stopped, planned and then executed. So obviously we know that there is an amount of effort that needs to go into planning, at which stage we should be able to see some of these perspectives more holistically. And the weakness in the planning process definitely is a major issue in project management. In fact, the amount of emphasis we learn to place on planning is very well known.
It is the design stage of the project that creates most of the problems that happen subsequently. And many times when those problems happen, we wonder why this wasn't thought of in the planning stage itself. So the quality of planning before the project is actually kicked off, and the quality of risk management practices as to that if a particular risk materializes, then how do you deal with the risk and move on.
Some very, very interesting things that really came up in terms of the kind of change that the whole thing is really going on in the government sector right now. In terms of how to really bring in a sense of accountability and ownership in terms of driving that whole project management to really make a very, very kind of a predictable outcome in terms of the whole project, that is the way it is getting executed, is something which is really amazing.
The forum took an interesting turn when former Indian cricketer VVS Lakshman took over the last leg of the conference. The audience was thrilled to interact with the cricketer, who spoke on the essence of team building and motivation.
There is no shortcuts
there is no magic in achieving success. All the successful people have to grind it out and have to have the belief that they are capable and they deserve to be successful. That was a very important quality which, when I think in hindsight, that was the quality which differentiated me from my colleagues at that age group. And I'm so proud that when I wore that Indian cap, all the hard work didn't go waste.
PMI conference brought together many organizations from across various sectors that are responsible for the majority of development projects in India. These organizations actively participated in all the sessions and had a lot to take back with them.
The PMI conference has been a wonderful opportunity to get people in project management from variety of fields, from academics, from those who are practitioners, from various industries together, both to understand and learn on project management, to hear some technical papers, and also to award those who have done well.
In IT, many times actually the people who get into the role could come because of their experience of over 5 years, 6 years, and then it's very important that they have to have the knowledge of project management to deliver the project successfully for the customers. In terms of whether it is a turnkey project or it's a staff augmentation project or it could be a support project, but the most important part is the project management.
Well, Project Management National Conference India 2014 has been an inspiring platform that not only encourages project management processes, but also hopes to make India future ready. That's all the time we have on this show from the entire team here. Goodbye and thank you for watching.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Presented by Project Management Institute. Media partner CNBC TV 18.
I was more than just a coward. I was handsome too. I felt nothing.